Alright, so the possible vape ban or flavored e-liquid ban that Trump has been considering is ridiculous for a number of reasons. This is the situation. Vaping has been around for about a decade, and not just in the US, it's been around all throughout Europe, Canada, Australia, and much of Asia. So for a decade, untold millions of people have been vaping with no health ailments associated with it. Now, that's not to say it's harmless, by the way, but all of a sudden, in a 1-month period in just the United States, you begin seeing all these illnesses and around 30 deaths, and they're erroneously associated with legal vaping products, even though from the beginning, vitamin E acetate found only in illicit THC devices was likely the culprit. You had a plethora of people admitting that they used all these illegal products, while some are not admitting to it, but who are we kidding? They probably used the illicit products and just didn't want to admit to it. I mean, a good chunk of people who got sick or died admitted to using these illicit products, while millions of others use the products from the open market and they're not getting sick or dying. Meanwhile, in Canada, Europe, Australia, and Asia, where these illicit products have not been found, no one is getting sick and no one is dying. You do not have to be Sherlock Holmes to figure out exactly what's going on here. All the evidence points to one thing, and that is that these illegal THC vape pens, which were probably made by some guy using materials and chemicals they got from Home Depot, is the real culprit here. So now we've got Trump doing what politicians do best. And that, of course, is ignoring the evidence or being so unbelievably dense that they're incapable of thinking rationally or they're being paid, who knows. So they go scorched earth on an industry comprised of thousands of businesses, none of which have sold anything linked to any sicknesses or deaths. It simply defies logic. And it also seems to me that this is one of those issues that even your average always Trumper has plenty of criticisms to make about Trump on this topic. I mean, you go to the Donald subreddit. They're very quick to defend everything and anything that Trump does, but I noticed that there are very few threads on this topic, but the ones that are there, it's filled with people scratching their heads wondering what Trump is thinking in regard to this issue. When you've got the hive questioning the leader they almost never question, that should tell you something. But here is the real issue, because I actually don't want to see people get sick and die. The real issue is that if you ban vapes or destroy the industry with bans on flavored vaping or legal THC vaping products, you are simply herding people directly into the black market where these tainted products exist. Now, this could also occur with an exorbitant amount of taxes being placed on these products as well. All of these government interventions keep the illicit market alive and well. The people who are selling these harmful products on the black market are probably shaking in their boots at the idea that the government won't go on a banning spree, because it is prohibition and sky-high taxes that keeps them in business and keeps the sales of their adulterated products high. So, like I said, it's very simple. Where are the products that are responsible for these sicknesses and deaths being sold? They're being sold on the black market. The number one thing you can do to help the black market flourish is to have government get involved, start banning things, and start imposing high taxation on these products. What that would essentially do is impose a barrier to entry into the vaping industry, and it's simply protectionism for those who are illegally selling tainted products. This is a lesson that history has been desperate to teach us, and it is sad how it all too often falls on deaf ears. And furthermore, who would these laws really screw over besides the people who use vapes and would go back to cigarettes, which is a wonderful side effect. That's sarcasm. Well, these laws would screw over the owners of thousands of vape shops across the US. Tens of thousands of people would be out of a job as a direct result of Trump's meddling on this issue. If Trump doesn't want to get reelected, this is a great way to make sure he doesn't get reelected. Because as I said before, even his supporters are coming out in droves to protest against him on this. And even people who don't vape can see through this nonsense. Trump promised to diminish the amount of government meddling in people's lives, and it's as obvious as the sun that this is a direct contradiction to that promise, and people are not having it. But that is all for now. Like, subscribe, and share this video to everyone you know, and take it easy.